Are you staying for the speeches too, Peterson? Someone else? Hmm. Okay, now good? Okay. Oh, is there a timer that I could look at possibly? Okay, thanks. Yep, sorry. It's just like borderline, so. Yeah. Okay, we ready? Okay. Imagine this. You wake up for school or work and just know that you're going to need to pick me up. So you put just enough time aside to solve that problem and pick up Starbucks. You wait in line, talk to the nice barista, and finally get to see the drink of your dreams as it makes its way out of the window and towards your mouth, where you can finally take a sip and immediately feel rejuvenated and ready to face the rest of your day. So, just a quick raise of hands, how many people have ever had an experience like that? Yeah, I'm for sure with you, and this happens way more than I would like to admit. Today, actually being one of those times, that's my drink there. And my name is Bella Benzi, and as a frequent Starbucks goer, I become aware of the talk that surrounds the word Starbucks and coffee shops in general, which I'm assuming most of you have heard as well. And after this speech, I want everyone here to be more open-minded towards Starbucks and finding a balance between coffee at home and at Starbucks. So in order to understand why it is worth the money, today we will brew up the controversy that surrounds the word Starbucks, tamper down on the cost differences between coffee at home and at Starbucks, and finally read the latte art on why we need to find a balance between the two. So let's start bringing our coffee as we look at the two main reasons for the controversy that surrounds buying from Starbucks and coffee shops in general. As I'm sure almost everyone here has heard before, many people hold the opinion and mindset that Starbucks is a waste of money. Nathan Metzger, a writer for The Black and White, explained that view in his article, Starbucks is a waste of time and money, which was written on January 31st of 2020. And Nathan explains how he believes Starbucks is a waste of money because when you make it at home, you can feel a sense of accomplishment, one that you don't get if you just buy a drink. And if you do buy a drink, then you should get it from a local shop that has a quirk and are less mainstream. Now, all opinions are valid, and this proves how much the views on Starbucks vary and why it is such a controversial topic. And while it does have some valid points, it isn't completely fair to throw out the idea of Starbucks just because of these reasons. And that's because he fails to mention how there are many pros to having a specific place to go for something. This is because of how reliable it is to go to a Starbucks in pretty much any city, because they are the most widespread coffee brand. And because of that widespreadness, you're able to order a drink that will taste exactly how you expect it to with minimal variations no matter what city you're in. The quirk that he mentioned before isn't always a good thing. And I don't know about you, but when I spend my money on something, I generally want to know that it's something I'll for sure like, especially if I'm in a new city and just want to get a quick coffee. And a lot of people also point out what else the money could be used for. Sean Carter explains in his CNBC article, My Daily Starbucks Habit Cost Me $2,500 a Year, that's published on June 18th of 2019, that Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary refuses to buy coffee because if he doesn't spend it, the money's going to be invested so he can make even more money. Now, I'm not a finance person, but even I know that Kevin O'Leary is a very wealthy and successful person, so his views on this can't be completely false. But I also have common sense. So I know that he did not make all of his money just by foregoing coffee runs. So yes, investing is very important and everyone should be doing it when able to, but it would be a very sad life to nickel and dime your way through your happiness to save some money. Everyone spends unnecessary money sometimes, even Kevin O'Leary, and that's okay, because if it isn't too frequently that it hurts you financially, sometimes if it just makes you happy and it won't be detrimental to your bank account, then it's probably just worth it. Should you rely on objects for your happiness? No. But every once in a while is completely fine. So, what is the fundamental cause of these beliefs and attitudes? It all boils down to the comparison of prices between coffee at home and at a coffee shop. So now let's tamp down on the coffee grinds and really break the numbers down. John Pham was kind enough to do it in his article, The Math on Coffee, Homemade versus Store-Bought, on the Money Ninja, which was updated on March 9th of 2024. He breaks down a grande, extra hot, 2-pump vanilla soy latte, which costs $5.51 at Starbucks, while making it at home only costs $1.11. When comparing the two numbers at face value, the very large difference shows why some people are so stuck on the math. However, this does not include the price of everything else involved, like the syrups, the coffee makers, the filters or K-cups, and even your time. So the costs at home do add up. And you could still argue it'd be cheaper at home if you make coffee every day to get used to these materials, but we're all guilty of paying a little extra for the ease of the drive-thru. And while the coffee at home is cheaper, it usually tastes better at the shops. The reason for this is the quality and price of the machines and gadgets used. As Meister explains in the Serious Eats article, Why Doesn't the Coffee I Make at Home Taste as Good as One at the Shops?, which was updated back on August 9th of 2018, that the machines in coffee shops cost thousands of dollars and are all perfectly installed by a professional to interconnect everything in the shop. And this shows why coffee is so much cheaper at home, because a coffee maker at home is usually around $100 to $200. But the quality of the coffee comes with the cost of these machines, which is why it's so hard to get a cup of coffee at home that tastes as good as one at the shop. So now, let's read the latte art as we move on to what we need to understand about the realities of these causes and how we can fully address the problem that is the controversy surrounding spending money at Starbucks. To do this, we need to be more open-minded towards coffee shops or Starbucks and find a balance between coffee at home and at the shops. The truth is that going to a coffee shop is more of an experience than just buying the coffee. In fact, Kathleen Elkins wrote a Business Insider article titled Science Says Chatting with Your Barista Will Make You Happier, which was published on March 20th of 2015. And she explains how researchers Gillian Sandstrom and Elizabeth Dunn of the University of British Columbia completed a study. They sent in two groups to a Starbucks. The first went in, ordered their drink, left as quickly as possible, where the second took time to actually speak and make a small connection with their barista. And that second group experienced a mood boost that lasted throughout the entire day, one that the first group didn't get to have. And this shows that visits to coffee shops are what you make of them. And it is important to be open-minded towards businesses like Starbucks who have these opportunities for their customers. By talking and making connections, you can gain something from picking up a fun drink besides the drink itself. You can have an immediate positive start to your day and eventually even your life, not only with caffeine, but also social interaction. To improve the thoughts surrounding Starbucks and getting drinks from them, we need to come to an understanding that there can be a balance between getting a drink from Starbucks and making one at home. As explained in the article, The Importance of a Balanced Life from BH Live Action that was accessed on April 15th of 2024, Having a balance in all aspects of life is important to your mental state of mind and improve your mood. This shows that, like with all things in life, a balance is important and needs to be implemented for buying Starbucks. It all comes down to your budget and how much you can spend and still be responsible with your finances. Many people who get Starbucks now do have these budgets set in place already, but it is good to recognize that everyone who spends money anywhere needs to have at least a mental limit in mind when spending. Now that we have touched on the steps we as a society need to work on, let's move on and enjoy our cup of coffee as we reflect on what we have learned today. We brewed up the controversy that surrounds Starbucks, tampered down on the cost of making coffee at home versus at a coffee shop, and explored the latte art, detailing how we need to be more open-minded towards finding a balance. Because when buying in a way that makes sense with your budget, there are many pros to getting Starbucks. I hope that everyone here now recognizes how Starbucks is worth the money when you find a correct balance, not only because of the quality of coffee, but also the great social aspects that you get from going to a coffee shop. So now, next time when that person in the story in the beginning of my speech is you getting up and craving Starbucks, just know that you are completely validated in your feelings and you should go get that coffee. Thank you. It's hot up here.